How has the relationship and competition between HubSpot and Salesforce changed over time? And will HubSpot eventually take over Salesforce? The competition between HubSpot and Salesforce it's interesting. It's evolved a lot over the years. I mean, first, Salesforce was the first in, right? Really the first brand to become synonymous with CRM category. And it still carries a lot of that today. And for good reason. They're a fantastic company. At first, Salesforce was like sales CRM, and HubSpot, when it came along a handful of years later, was marketing automation. So they were kind of friends for the longest time. It might still be true, actually. I'm not positive. But at least when I started working with HubSpot over 10 years ago, and at least for the next few years after that, the most common integration in the HubSpot marketplace was the Salesforce integration. I don't know if it was the same on Salesforce's end, but people were happy. We got Salesforce for sales, and we'll integrate HubSpot for our marketing, because HubSpot's always been the better marketing software by a lot. And that's how things were. But then, they kind of became frenemies because, HubSpot started building out a full CRM, and Salesforce acquired Pardot and continued its land and expand strategy to what any company would do, it grow and expand. And so now they're I don't know if they've moved on, if they're still frenemies or if they're now legit competitors. I mean, Salesforce is still the 800-pound gorilla. I don't know how much more, off the top of my head, how much more revenue Salesforce makes than HubSpot, but it is certainly by multiple factors more. But HubSpot's growing faster than Salesforce. And I think HubSpot is really, really well positioned because while Salesforce has grown a lot through mergers and acquisitions, we buy Pardot, we buy Slack, we buy this, that, and the other thing, HubSpot has grown through very natural and organically through a simplified, unified stack. I think right now, more than ever, that is really helping HubSpot, because a handful of years ago, especially 10, 15 years ago, it was kind of like an arms race. I don't mean for HubSpot and Salesforce, for companies, right? There was a technology arms race. We need a technology to run drip email communication, to schedule our social media posts, to generate knowledge-based articles, to do customer service help desk stuff. And now there's just so many companies and platforms that have that and do that. If you have a need for a particular type of software, whether your choices are HubSpot or Salesforce or Zendesk or on down the list, there's so many platforms out there that could probably do the job for you, quite frankly. So the arms race seems like, with the exception of AI, on non-AI software categories, seems like it's not as intense anymore. What the real premium is on is simplifying your tech stack, unifying your data, eliminating friction and errors and redundancies and data silos. It's like a retreat back to simplicity. So that's why with HubSpot, you've got Breeze AI, and Salesforce, what do they call that? The agent force, right? Everyone's investing big in AI. And the reason why I think HubSpot is so well positioned is because these AI agents that are enriching data, summarizing records, doing deep research, and performing other actions with smart properties is on already a simplified, more unified data model in HubSpot. So that's really why I think HubSpot is really, really well positioned. Salesforce is still, I think it's an excellent company. This is not a thing where I think that one needs to eat the other, right? Yes, I'm Team Orange, right? HubSpot solutions partner, loyal to HubSpot. But I don't know, Salesforce is a great company. They can perfectly coexist. And quite frankly, there are reasons why they should, right? Salesforce is still more enterprise. If you have a team of Salesforce admins, there's more things you can custom build on the Salesforce platform than natively on HubSpot. The question is, how many companies actually need that though? And I think that 95% of companies don't need that. 95% of companies, in my estimation, are probably better suited on HubSpot. Your SMBs still make up the vast majority of companies in the US and most of the developed world. No doubt HubSpot is going upmarket. They've been doing that for several years, and it's very noticeable. And sometimes you hear some things from HubSpot loyalists where maybe they make it seem like they resent that a little bit. But I think for the most part, it's been positive, because one of the things you notice with HubSpot is as they go more up market and build out the platform and provide more tools, they often push a lot of features downstream. A perfect example is now basic automation exists in Marketing Starter. You can get Customer Platform Starter for $20 a month. So you got Marketing Hub, Sales Hub, Service Hub, Data Hub, Content Hub, all on the starter level. You can do simple workflows after a form is submitted. You can automate an email. You can automate internal notifications and tasks based on pipeline updates and deals and ticket pipelines. Playbooks now, to a lesser extent, are available in Sales Hub and Service Hub Pro when they used to be only available in Enterprise. Data enrichment, for example, was always credit-based, but now basic data enrichment is included. It really benefits the small users as HubSpot continues to go up market. Yes, they've adjusted their pricing model, so as your team grows and you use it more, you will pay more, right? Because they got rid of unlimited free seats, but they've lowered the barriers to entry. And again, as they go up market, they push more features downstream, making it more powerful for the average user, for even the smaller than average user, the 10, 15 person company that, wants to, punch above its weight class and operate more efficiently. So I think Salesforce will probably always be bigger than HubSpot, but I think we might see a little bit more parallel dominance between the two. I just think HubSpot is a little bit better positioned to accelerate faster, especially when it comes to AI. I could be wrong. There's a reason why I'm not running these companies, and I'm just a strategic implementer. But I think it's really interesting to speculate. And I think like most things, competition brings out the best. With HubSpot and Salesforce competing against one another now very mindfully, I think it's probably going to be a win for users of both platforms and for other companies out there too. As you can tell, I'm kind of a nerd about this stuff. Most of the time, I just live inside the four walls of the HubSpot CRM and learn and test and grow and help other people do the same. But it's fun to kind of speculate, and I'm just happy to be a part of this ecosystem.